Ladies and gentlemen, change is never random. It doesn't just happen. It begins with signs, whispers from the universe, nudges from God, and shifts in your spirit. If you pay attention, you'll realize that life has been preparing you for something greater all along. Discomfort is one of the first and clearest signs that your life is about to change. It starts subtly, an uneasy feeling that grows over time. The job you once enjoyed suddenly feels draining. The people around you, the conversations you used to engage in, and even the places you used to frequent no longer bring the same satisfaction. It's as if something inside you is shifting, making you restless in an environment that once felt comfortable. You may not fully understand why, but deep inside you sense that you are outgrowing your current situation. This discomfort isn't a punishment, it's a signal. Life is nudging you, pushing you towards something greater. Just like a seed must break out of its shell before it can grow into a tree, you too must break free from what is familiar in order to step into a new version of yourself. Growth is never easy because it requires shedding old layers, and that process can feel unsettling. Think about it. Every time you have experienced growth in the past, it has likely come with a period of discomfort. Remember when you first started learning a new skill? At first it felt frustrating, almost unnatural, but with persistence you adapted, and what once felt difficult became second nature. Life operates in the same way. When you are meant to evolve, it will make where you are feel increasingly uncomfortable until you take action. Many people resist this discomfort because they fear the unknown. They cling to what is familiar, even when it no longer serves them. They choose the comfort of mediocrity over the uncertainty of growth. But here's the truth. Staying in a place that no longer challenges you will keep you stuck. If you refuse to embrace discomfort, you will never experience true transformation. This is why so many people feel trapped in cycles they can't break. They feel dissatisfied but don't take action. They dream of a better life but don't want to endure the discomfort required to get there. But the moment you accept that discomfort is a necessary part of growth, everything changes. Instead of resisting it, you start seeing it as confirmation that you are on the right path. Think of the caterpillar before it becomes a butterfly. It must first enter a cocoon, completely breaking down into something unrecognizable before emerging with wings. During that transition, the caterpillar is isolated, uncomfortable, and undergoing a radical transformation. If you are feeling discomfort right now, it is because you are in that process. You are shedding old beliefs, old habits, and old versions of yourself. But here's the catch. Most people don't realize that discomfort is temporary. The struggle you feel now will not last forever. It is simply a stage, a stepping stone leading you towards something better. The problem is that most people quit before they reach the breakthrough. They mistake discomfort as a sign that something is wrong, when in reality, it is proof that something is changing. The key is to lean into that discomfort and ask yourself, what is life trying to teach me? Instead of running from the unease, embrace it. Recognize that it is a sign that you are being prepared for something greater. Maybe you are meant to pursue a new career, start a business, or move to a new place. Maybe you are being called to let go of old friendships that no longer align with your growth. Whatever it is, trust that this discomfort is not here to break you. It is here to transform you. The greatest leaders, innovators, and successful people in history all experienced this discomfort before their breakthrough. They felt restless, uncertain, and at times completely lost, but they did not let that discomfort stop them. Instead, they use it as fuel to push forward. They understood that discomfort is the birthplace of change. If you are in this season of discomfort, do not ignore it. Do not suppress it. Pay attention to what it is telling you. The life you want is on the other side of this feeling. Every major transformation starts with an unsettling phase, a moment when everything feels unfamiliar, when the old no longer fits and the new has yet to fully arrive. You must have faith in the process. You must believe that this discomfort is shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for the next level. Instead of seeing it as an obstacle, see it as a sign. A sign that your life is shifting, that change is happening, and that you are being positioned for something greater. So embrace the discomfort, let it guide you. Do not run back to what feels safe simply because it is familiar. Lean forward into the unknown, because that is where transformation happens. Your discomfort is not a mistake. It is an invitation to step into your next chapter. And if you have the courage to accept it, your life will never be the same. People start leaving your life when a significant change is about to happen. At first, it may feel like rejection, like something is going wrong, but in reality, it is a necessary part of growth. Not everyone is meant to accompany you on your journey. Some relationships are seasonal, serving a purpose for a time, but not meant to last forever. When you begin to evolve, life naturally starts filtering out the people who are not aligned with your next chapter. It may come in different forms. Some friends start distancing themselves without explanation. Conversations that once flowed effortlessly now feel forced. You may notice that certain relationships no longer bring you the same joy they once did. Sometimes conflicts arise out of nowhere, and no matter how much you try to hold on, the connection seems to be slipping away. You might even feel abandoned, wondering why the people you cared about are suddenly fading from your life. But here's the truth. This isn't a mistake. It's part of your transformation. Growth requires separation. Imagine a rocket preparing for space. The boosters attached to it are essential for liftoff, but as the rocket ascends, those same boosters detach and fall away. They were necessary for the beginning, but they cannot go where the rocket is heading. The same applies to life. Some people were essential for your past, but they are not meant to be part of your future. Holding on to them will only slow you down. One of the hardest lessons in life is understanding that not everyone is meant to stay. Some friendships were built around the old version of you, and as you grow, the alignment shifts. You may start noticing that conversations with certain people revolve around negativity, gossip, or habits that no longer resonate with you. While you are thinking about growth, purpose, and change, they are still attached to the past. That disconnection is a sign that your paths are diverging. At first, you may feel tempted to hold on. You might try to force old relationships to fit into your new life, but the more you do, the more resistance you'll feel. You cannot carry people who are not willing to grow with you. If someone is meant to be in your life, they will evolve with you. They will celebrate your growth, support your journey, and encourage you to become the best version of yourself. But if someone resents your progress, makes you feel guilty for changing, or constantly pulls you back into old patterns, they are revealing that their role in your story has come to an end. It is natural to grieve the loss of relationships. Change often comes with a sense of loneliness, but that space is necessary for something greater. When people exit your life, they create room for new connections that align with your purpose. Imagine trying to fill a cup that is already overflowing. Until you pour out what no longer serves you, there is no space for anything new. God, the universe, or whatever you believe in, has a way of removing people who are not meant to be part of your destiny. Sometimes it happens suddenly and you don't understand why. But later when you look back, you realize that their absence was necessary for your growth. Maybe they were limiting your mindset. Maybe they were keeping you in a comfort zone. Maybe their energy was holding you back in ways you couldn't see at the time. Instead of questioning why people are leaving, start asking, what am I being prepared for? When life is about to shift, it clears the way. It removes distractions, negativity, and anything that no longer aligns with where you're heading. If you find yourself in a season where relationships are falling apart, trust that this is not the end. It is a transition. This doesn't mean you have to shut people out with bitterness or resentment. It simply means recognizing when a chapter is closing and having the wisdom to move forward with gratitude. Some people were part of your journey to teach you lessons, to help you grow, and to support you when you needed them. Honor those connections for what they were, but do not cling to them out of fear. One of the biggest obstacles to personal growth is the fear of loneliness. Many people stay in unhealthy relationships, friendships, and environments simply because they are afraid of being alone. But solitude is not a punishment, it is preparation. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in life come in moments of isolation where you are forced to reflect, realign, and rediscover who you truly are. If you are experiencing this shift right now, if people are leaving, if relationships are changing, if you feel like you are being separated from certain environments, do not resist it. This is your transformation. The people meant for your future will find you. The relationships that truly align with your purpose will remain. And in time you will realize that every person who left made space for something better. Trust the process. Let go of what no longer serves you. And step forward into the new season that awaits. Opportunities begin to appear in unexpected ways when your life is about to change. At first they may seem small or insignificant, like random encounters, unexpected invitations, or sudden shifts in conversations. But if you look closely, you'll notice a pattern. Life is opening doors for you. It's not always in the way you expect, and it's rarely in a way that feels convenient. Sometimes opportunities come disguised as challenges, detours, or even setbacks. You may be in a situation where you feel stuck, where nothing seems to be moving forward. You may be frustrated, wondering why your efforts haven't paid off yet. But in these moments of uncertainty, something unusual happens. You meet someone who introduces you to a new idea, a new way of thinking, or even a new path. A job opportunity arises when you weren't even looking. A conversation sparks a thought that leads you in a direction you never considered before. These are not coincidences, they are signals. When your life is about to change, the universe, God, or whatever force you believe in begins to place opportunities in your path. The problem is that most people don't recognize them. They expect opportunities to come in grand, obvious ways, but that's rarely how it works. Most breakthroughs begin with a small shift, something that seems insignificant at first but leads to a bigger transformation. The key is to be open, to pay attention, and to take action when you feel that nudge.
Many people miss life-changing opportunities because they dismiss them as random events. They ignore the invitation, they turn down the meeting, they brush off the idea. They convince themselves that it's not the right time or that they're not ready. But the truth is, you will never feel fully ready. Growth requires stepping into the unknown, taking risks, and saying yes before you have all the answers. Think about some of the greatest success stories in history. Many of them started with a single opportunity that didn't seem like much at the time. A chance meeting, a small idea, a side project that turned into something bigger. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is simple. Successful people recognize opportunities and act on them. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They take a step forward even when they're uncertain. If you feel like opportunities are showing up more frequently in your life, pay attention. This is a sign that change is happening. You might find yourself in situations where doors that were once closed are now opening. You might notice that things you struggled with before are now becoming easier. People you once couldn't reach are suddenly within your network. These are indicators that you are shifting into a new phase. One of the biggest mistakes people make is doubting their worthiness. They see an opportunity and immediately think, I'm not qualified, I don't deserve this, this is too big for me. But opportunities wouldn't come to you if you weren't ready for them. Life does not present chances to those who aren't prepared. If an opportunity has appeared, it means you have what it takes. It's just a matter of believing in yourself enough to take action. Of course, not every opportunity is the right one. Some paths may look appealing, but aren't aligned with your true purpose. This is why discernment is important. When an opportunity presents itself, ask yourself, does this align with who I want to become? Is this leading me toward growth? Or is it just a distraction? The right opportunities will excite you, challenge you, and push you to become better. They may feel intimidating, but deep down they will feel right. When you start noticing more opportunities, it's a sign that your mindset is shifting. The way you see the world determines what you attract. If you focus on problems, you will only see obstacles. But if you focus on growth, solutions, and possibilities, you will begin to see opportunities everywhere. It's not that more opportunities suddenly exist, it's that you are now open to them. Opportunities require action. You can't just sit back and hope things fall into place. You must take steps, even if they are small. That means making the phone call, sending the email, showing up for the event, or saying yes to something outside of your comfort zone. Too many people wait for the perfect conditions before they act, but the truth is the perfect moment never comes. The people who succeed are the ones who take imperfect action and learn along the way. If you feel opportunities are appearing more often, trust that you are in the right place. This is not a coincidence. Life is moving you towards something greater, and it is up to you to respond. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't dismiss what feels like a small chance, because that small chance could be the one that changes everything. When your life is about to change, one of the most powerful signs is an overwhelming sense of restlessness. It's that deep internal feeling that something isn't quite right. Even if everything on the surface seems normal, you may find yourself waking up in the morning with an unexplainable sense of unease, as though you're meant to be somewhere else, doing something different. This feeling isn't random. It's your spirit, your intuition, or even God trying to tell you that a shift is coming. Restlessness often appears when you've outgrown your current situation. It's a sign that your soul is no longer satisfied with where you are. You may feel disconnected from your job, your environment, or even the people around you. The things that used to excite you might now feel dull or uninspiring. Activities that once brought you joy may no longer hold the same meaning. This isn't because you're losing interest in life. It's because you're being prepared for something new. Many people try to ignore restlessness. They convince themselves that they're just being ungrateful or that they should be happy with what they have. They suppress the feeling, distract themselves with entertainment, or drown it out with routine. But restlessness doesn't go away. In fact, the more you ignore it, the stronger it becomes. It's life's way of nudging you forward, pushing you out of your comfort zone and preparing you for the next stage of your journey. Instead of resisting restlessness, lean into it. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What is my heart trying to tell me? Where is life leading me? Sometimes the answers don't come right away. You may not immediately see the path ahead, but the first step is acknowledging that this feeling is a sign, not a problem. It's an invitation to reflect, to question, and to explore. Restlessness often comes before major breakthroughs. If you look back at the times in your life when things changed significantly, you'll likely notice that restlessness was present before each transition, whether it was leaving a job, moving to a new place, ending a relationship, or starting a new journey. There was likely a period of discomfort beforehand. This is because growth is uncomfortable. Change disrupts what is familiar, and your mind naturally resists it. But just because something feels uncomfortable doesn't mean it's wrong. In fact, discomfort is often a sign that you're on the right track. People who experience restlessness tend to have two choices. They can either suppress it and remain stuck in their current reality, or they can embrace it and step into the unknown. The latter choice requires courage because it means letting go of certainty. It means walking away from what is familiar, even when you don't have all the answers. But every great transformation in life begins with this step. If you're feeling restless, start by paying attention to what excites you. What topics, ideas, or activities make you feel alive? What thoughts keep coming back to you, no matter how much you try to ignore them? Often, the things we're most passionate about are directly connected to our purpose. But many people dismiss their passions because they don't see how they can turn them into something meaningful. They assume their dreams are unrealistic or impractical, but the truth is your desires exist for a reason. They are clues guiding you toward your next step. Restlessness is also a sign that it's time to release the things that no longer serve you. This could mean letting go of relationships that drain your energy, habits that keep you stuck, or beliefs that limit your growth. Sometimes we hold on to things simply because they are familiar, not because they are right for us. But as long as you cling to what is no longer meant for you, you create resistance to the changes that are trying to happen. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they feel restless is seeking external solutions. They think a new job, a new relationship, or a change in scenery will solve the problem. While external changes can help, true transformation begins internally. You must be willing to look within and ask, what am I really seeking? What do I truly want? Who am I becoming? The answers to these questions will guide you more than any external shift ever could. Restlessness is not your enemy. It's a gift. It's a sign that you are evolving, that you are growing beyond your current circumstances. The discomfort you feel is a necessary part of the process. It's preparing you for something greater, something that aligns with your true purpose. Instead of running from it, embrace it. Instead of silencing it, listen to it. If you are feeling restless, know that you are not alone. Many of the most successful and fulfilled people in the world have experienced this exact feeling before stepping into their purpose. It is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that something new is beginning. Trust the process, follow your intuition, and have the courage to step into the unknown. Your life is about to change in ways you never imagined, and all you have to do is be ready to embrace it. When your life is about to change, you may notice that you start losing interest in things that once brought you joy. The hobbies, routines, and even relationships that used to feel fulfilling may now seem dull, unimportant, or even draining. This shift can feel unsettling because it challenges your sense of identity. You may wonder why you no longer feel excitement for the things you once loved, or why certain friendships no longer feel the same. But this loss of interest is not random. It is a sign that you are evolving, and your spirit is preparing you for something new. Change often requires letting go of old attachments. The things that once served you may no longer align with the person you are becoming. This is a natural part of growth, yet many people resist it because they fear losing themselves. They try to force themselves to enjoy the same activities, surround themselves with the same people, and hold on to the same habits, even when deep inside, they know they've outgrown them. But forcing yourself to stay in a place you've outgrown only creates frustration and stagnation. It prevents you from stepping into the next chapter of your life. When you start losing interest in old passions, it is important to pay attention to what is replacing them. What new thoughts are entering your mind? What different ideas are sparking curiosity? What new experiences feel exciting, even if they are unfamiliar? Life has a way of guiding you toward what you need, but you must be willing to follow the signs. Losing interest in something does not mean it was never important to you. It simply means that its purpose in your life has been fulfilled. Maybe a certain job once brought you joy because it taught you valuable skills, but now you feel restless because you're ready for the next level. Maybe a certain friendship was once essential for your growth, but now you sense that it is no longer aligned with your journey. Change is not about disrespecting the past. It is about honoring its role in your development and recognizing when it's time to move forward. Many people fear losing interest in things because they associate it with failure. They believe that if they stop loving something, it means they were never truly passionate about it. But this is not true. Just as seasons change in nature, seasons change in our lives. A tree does not hold on to its leaves in the winter out of fear that it will never grow new ones. It lets go because it trusts that something new will come. In the same way, when you lose interest in something, it does not mean that you are lost. It means you are making space for something greater. This shift in interest is also a test of faith. It challenges you to trust yourself and your inner wisdom. Many people ignore their feelings and force themselves to stay in the same place out of fear of the unknown. They convince themselves that if they just keep going, the excitement will return. But in reality, forcing yourself to stay where you don't belong only delays the inevitable. Your soul knows when it's time to move on, and the longer you resist, the more difficult the transition becomes. When you notice yourself losing interest in things, it is essential to give yourself permission to explore. Allow yourself to be curious about what is next. Try new activities, expose yourself to new ideas, and surround yourself with people who inspire you. Sometimes the next step in your journey isn't immediately clear, and that's okay. The key is to stay open and trust that life will reveal the answers when the time is right. One of the most liberating realizations is understanding that you are not obligated to stay the same person forever. You are allowed to change, to evolve, and to desire new things. The version of you from 5 years ago is different from the person you are today, and the person you are becoming will be different as well. Growth is a process of continuous transformation, and losing interest in old things is simply part of that process. Instead of feeling guilty for changing, celebrate it. Recognize that your evolving interests are a reflection of your expanding mind and spirit. Trust that whatever you are meant to do next will reveal itself at the right time. And most importantly, remember that losing interest in something is not an ending. It is a beginning. It is the universe's way of preparing you for the new opportunities, experiences, and breakthroughs that are coming your way. If you feel yourself drifting away from the things that once defined you, know that this is not a sign of failure or confusion. It is a sign that your life is shifting towards something bigger. Trust the process, embrace the changes, and be excited for what's ahead. Because when you lose interest in the past, it means your future is calling you forward.
When your life is about to change, one of the most significant signs is that you start feeling a deep discomfort in your current situation. It is not just a passing frustration or a temporary inconvenience. It is a persistent feeling that something is not right. You wake up in the morning and feel restless, even if everything in your life seems fine on the surface. The things that once felt comfortable now feel confining, and the routine that once brought you security now feels like a cage. This discomfort is not something to ignore. It is your soul's way of telling you that you are outgrowing your current reality and preparing for something greater. Many people mistake this discomfort for unhappiness, but they are not the same thing. Unhappiness often comes from external circumstances, things like toxic relationships, financial struggles, or a lack of fulfillment. But this kind of discomfort is different. It comes from within. Even when everything on the outside appears to be stable, you may have a good job, supportive friends, and a comfortable routine, yet something inside you whispers that you are meant for more. This feeling is not random. It is the universe nudging you toward your next chapter. The problem is that most people resist this discomfort instead of embracing it. They try to silence it by distracting themselves with entertainment, social media, or meaningless tasks. They convince themselves that they should be grateful for what they have and that they should stop wanting more. But suppressing the feeling does not make it go away. It only grows stronger until one day it becomes impossible to ignore. Discomfort is the catalyst for growth. It is what pushes you to step outside of your comfort zone and take action toward your dreams. If you never felt uncomfortable, you would never have a reason to change. You would stay in the same place, doing the same things, and living the same life forever. But life is not meant to be stagnant. It is meant to be a journey of continuous evolution, and discomfort is what propels you forward. When you start feeling this discomfort, it is a sign that your life is shifting. The old ways of doing things no longer feel satisfying because they are no longer aligned with where you are going. This can be scary because it forces you to question everything you thought you wanted. You may start wondering if the career path you chose is truly right for you. You may begin to feel disconnected from the people you once felt close to. You may even start questioning your own identity, unsure of who you are becoming. The key to navigating this phase is to trust the discomfort instead of resisting it. See it as a message rather than a problem. Instead of trying to push it away, ask yourself what it is trying to tell you. What areas of your life feel unfulfilling? What dreams have you been ignoring? What changes have you been avoiding? The answers to these questions will give you clarity on what needs to shift. Many times people stay in situations that no longer serve them because they fear the unknown. They think, what if I leave this job and things don't work out? Or what if I end this relationship and regret it later? This fear keeps them trapped in places where they no longer belong. But what they fail to realize is that the discomfort they are feeling is already a sign that they are out of alignment. Staying where you are does not bring peace. It only prolongs the inevitable. When your life is about to change, you will feel a strong inner pull towards something different, even if you do not fully understand what it is. You may suddenly feel inspired to start a new project, move to a new city, or take a risk you never considered before. These urges are not random. They are guiding you toward the next phase of your journey. But the only way to reach that next level is to embrace the discomfort and take action. The transition from one chapter to another is never easy. There will be moments of doubt, fear, and uncertainty. You will have days when you question whether you are making the right choices. But the discomfort you feel is proof that you are evolving. Growth is never comfortable because it requires you to stretch beyond what you know. It asks you to leave behind the familiar and step into the unknown. If you are feeling this kind of deep discomfort in your life right now, take it as a sign that something greater is ahead. Do not run from it. Do not numb it. Listen to it. Let it guide you toward the changes that need to happen. Trust that the discomfort you feel today is preparing you for the breakthrough that is coming. Because every major transformation in life begins with a period of discomfort. And the more you embrace it, the sooner you will step into the life you were meant to live. When your life is about to change, you may notice that you start attracting new people into your life while others begin to drift away. This shift in relationships is not random. It is a reflection of the transformation happening within you. As you grow, your energy changes, your mindset evolves, and your priorities shift. The people who were once aligned with your old self may no longer resonate with who you are becoming. At first, this can feel unsettling. You may wonder why certain friendships feel distant, or why you no longer connect with people who were once a significant part of your life. But this is not something to fear. It is a sign that you are moving forward. Many people resist this natural process because they feel guilty about letting go. They hold on to relationships out of obligation rather than genuine connection. They try to fit into the same social circles, even when the conversations no longer inspire them. But forcing yourself to maintain relationships that no longer serve you only holds you back. It keeps you anchored to an old version of yourself that you have already outgrown. Growth requires space, and sometimes that means allowing certain people to fade from your life. This does not mean that the relationships of your past were meaningless. Every person who enters your life serves a purpose. Some teach you lessons, some support you during difficult times, and some help you see the world in a new way. But not everyone is meant to stay forever. Some people come into your life for a season, and when that season is over, it is okay to let them go. Holding on to relationships that no longer align with your path only creates unnecessary resistance. At the same time, as you let go of old connections, you will find yourself attracting new people who align with the person you are becoming. You may meet individuals who challenge you to think differently, who encourage you to chase your dreams, and who bring out the best in you. These relationships feel effortless and energizing. They push you to grow rather than keep you stuck in the past. Pay attention to the people who enter your life during this time, because they are often a reflection of where you are headed. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to bring everyone with them as they grow. They assume that just because someone has been part of their life for a long time, they must always remain. But the truth is, not everyone is meant to go with you to the next level. Some people will not understand your growth. They may try to hold you back, discourage your dreams, or make you feel guilty for changing. This is not because they are bad people, but because they are not on the same path as you. It is important to recognize when a relationship is no longer serving you. If you feel drained after spending time with someone, if the conversations feel repetitive and uninspiring, or if you find yourself pretending to be someone you are not just to fit in, it may be time to reevaluate that connection. Surrounding yourself with the right people is crucial to your growth. The energy and mindset of those around you will either lift you up or pull you down. Letting go of old relationships does not have to be dramatic. It does not mean you have to cut people off or end things on bad terms. Sometimes it happens naturally. You may find that you speak less, that your interests no longer align, or that you simply drift apart. That is okay. Growth is not about forcing anything. It is about allowing things to unfold as they are meant to. During this transition, you may also find yourself spending more time alone. This can feel uncomfortable at first, but it is a necessary part of the process. Being alone gives you the space to reflect, to understand yourself better, and to gain clarity on where you are headed. It allows you to separate your true desires from the expectations of others. Many people avoid solitude because they fear being alone. But solitude is where transformation happens. It is where you reconnect with yourself and prepare for what is next. As your life changes, trust that the right people will find you. The universe has a way of bringing the right connections into your life at the right time. You do not have to force it. Just focus on becoming the best version of yourself, and the right people will naturally gravitate toward you. If you are experiencing a shift in your relationships right now, take it as a sign that something new is unfolding. Let go of what no longer serves you. Embrace the new connections coming your way, and trust that everything is happening exactly as it should. Your growth will lead you to the people who are meant to walk this next chapter with you. And when you find those people, you will realize that letting go was never about losing. It was about making space for something better. There are moments in life when you start to feel restless, as if something inside you is stirring, pushing you toward a change you can't yet fully understand. You wake up in the morning and feel an underlying sense that you are meant for more, that the life you are currently living no longer fits who you are becoming. This feeling of inner restlessness is not a coincidence. It is a sign that your life is about to change, that you are being called toward a new chapter, even if you do not yet know what that chapter looks like. Many people experience this feeling and try to ignore it. They convince themselves that they should be content with what they have, that they should be grateful and not ask for more. But gratitude and growth are not opposites. You can be thankful for where you are while still recognizing that you are meant for something greater. Ignoring that inner restlessness does not make it disappear. It only causes frustration and confusion. The more you suppress the call for change, the more you will feel out of alignment with yourself. This feeling often arises when you have outgrown your current circumstances. Perhaps your job no longer excites you, or the routines that once felt comfortable now feel restrictive. Maybe the goals you once chased no longer inspire you, and you find yourself questioning whether the path you are on is truly the right one. These are not signs of failure, they are signs of growth. When you are ready for a new level in life, your old ways of living will start to feel too small. This restlessness is an invitation to explore new possibilities. It is your soul's way of telling you that it is time to expand, to step outside of your comfort zone, and to pursue something that aligns with your true purpose. But change requires courage. It is easy to stay in familiar situations, even when they no longer serve you, because familiarity feels safe. The unknown, on the other hand, can feel intimidating. What if you fail? What if you make the wrong decision? These fears keep many people stuck in situations that no longer make them happy. But the truth is, not making a decision is still making a decision. Choosing to stay the same when you know you are meant for more is a choice. And eventually, the discomfort of staying where you are will become greater than the fear of stepping into the unknown. When that moment comes, you will have two options: resist and remain where you are, or embrace the discomfort of growth and move forward. One of the most powerful things you can do when you feel this inner restlessness is to listen to it. Instead of dismissing it or distracting yourself from it, take time to reflect on what it is trying to tell you. Ask yourself, what is no longer fulfilling me? What have I been ignoring? What am I afraid to admit to myself? These questions will guide you toward the areas of your life that are ready for change. Often when people begin to listen to their inner restlessness, they realize that they have been settling. They have been playing small, avoiding risks, and staying in situations that feel comfortable but uninspiring. But you were not meant to live a life of mediocrity. You were meant to grow, to evolve, to step into your highest potential. And that requires embracing change, even when it feels uncertain. As you move through this transition, you may not have all the answers right away. That is okay. Change is not always about knowing exactly where you are going. It is about trusting that you are being guided in the right direction. The path often reveals itself as you take the first steps. Waiting until you have absolute certainty before making a move will only keep you stuck. Progress comes from action, not just planning. This is also a time when you need to be patient with yourself. Growth is not always comfortable. There may be moments when you doubt yourself, when you feel like you are making mistakes, when you wonder if you should just go back to what is familiar. But remember, transformation is not a straight line. It is a process of becoming. And every challenge, every uncertainty, every moment of discomfort is shaping you into the person you are meant to be. During this time, surround yourself with inspiration. Read books that challenge your thinking. Listen to people who have walked the path of transformation before you, and spend time with those who uplift and encourage you. The environment you place yourself in has a powerful influence on your growth. If you constantly expose yourself to negativity and fear-based thinking, you will hesitate to move forward. But if you surround yourself with wisdom, courage, and positive energy, you will feel empowered to embrace the changes ahead. If you are feeling restless right now, take it as a sign that your life is shifting in ways you may not fully understand yet. Trust that this feeling is not random. It is a call for you to rise to a new level. Instead of fearing the unknown, see it as an opportunity. The life you are meant to live is on the other side of your comfort zone, and the only way to get there is to move forward, one step at a time. There are moments in life when you begin to feel disconnected from the people around you. The conversations that once felt engaging now seem shallow, and the activities you used to enjoy with others no longer excite you. You may find yourself withdrawing, choosing solitude over socializing, not because you dislike people, but because you feel like you no longer resonate with them. This is not a sign of loneliness. It is a sign of transformation. When your life is about to change, your relationships often go through a shift as well. You may notice that certain friendships start to feel forced, as if you are holding on to something that no longer fits who you are becoming. The topics that once bonded you with others may no longer interest you, and the energy of certain interactions might feel draining instead of fulfilling. This is not something to fear. It is a natural part of growth. When you start evolving, you will not connect with everyone in the same way you once did, and that is okay. At first, this change can feel unsettling. You might wonder if something is wrong with you. Why do you suddenly feel distant from people you used to feel so close to? Why do social settings that once felt comfortable now feel exhausting? This is because when you are growing internally, your external world starts to shift to reflect that growth. Your mind is expanding, your priorities are changing, and your perspective on life is evolving. Naturally, not everyone around you will be growing at the same pace. It is important to understand that outgrowing certain relationships does not mean you have to cut people off in a harsh way. It simply means that your interactions may begin to take a different form. Some friendships will naturally fade, while others may transform into something new. Some people will understand your growth and evolve with you, while others may not relate to the path you are on. That does not make them bad people. It just means you are on different journeys. This phase of life can feel isolating at times. You might find yourself spending more time alone, reflecting, reading, thinking, and gaining clarity on who you are becoming. But solitude is not a punishment, it is preparation. When life is about to change, you are often given the space to reevaluate who you want to become and what kind of people you want to surround yourself with. This time of solitude allows you to disconnect from external influences so that you can reconnect with yourself. One of the biggest mistakes people make during this phase is trying to force old relationships to stay the same. They cling to friendships that no longer bring them joy. They try to shrink themselves to fit into spaces they have outgrown, and they ignore the feeling that tells them they need something different. But forcing connections that no longer align with you only creates frustration. Growth requires making space for new relationships that reflect the person you are becoming. Sometimes the people around you will notice your change before you even do. They may comment on how you are different, how you seem more distant, or how your energy has shifted. Some will be supportive, while others may try to pull you back into your old ways. Not everyone will understand your transformation, and that is okay. Your journey is not meant to be understood by everyone. The key during this time is to trust the process. If certain relationships are fading, let them. If you feel the need to spend more time alone, honor that. If you are no longer interested in the same conversations or activities, do not force yourself to engage in them. Growth is about alignment, and sometimes that means letting go of what no longer aligns with you. Eventually, as you continue on your path, you will begin to attract new connections. People who understand and support the version of you that you are becoming. These are the relationships that will inspire you, challenge you, and help you grow even further. But you will not find them if you are too busy clinging to relationships that no longer serve you. If you are currently feeling disconnected from the people around you, do not see it as a negative thing. See it as a sign that you are entering a new phase of life. You are being given the opportunity to redefine your relationships, to surround yourself with people who truly align with your values, and to create connections that feel fulfilling rather than forced. Trust that the right people will come into your life at the right time. And until then, embrace this period of transformation with confidence. There comes a time in life when everything that once felt stable begins to feel uncertain. The routines that once brought comfort now seem dull, and the ambitions that once fueled your motivation no longer excite you. You feel restless, as if you are meant for something greater but cannot quite grasp what that is. This is not a sign of failure or confusion. It is a sign that you are on the edge of transformation. When your life is about to change, you will begin to feel an inner discomfort, a sense that you are outgrowing your current reality. This feeling is often mistaken for dissatisfaction, but it is not dissatisfaction, it is expansion. Your mind is stretching beyond the limitations you once accepted. Your spirit is urging you to move forward, to break free from the familiar and step into something new. The challenge is that this transition can feel unsettling. You may question yourself, wondering why the things that once fulfilled you no longer do. You may feel a longing for change without knowing exactly what that change looks like. During this time, you may also experience an unusual mix of emotions: excitement and anxiety, hope and uncertainty, clarity and confusion, all at once. It is as if a part of you knows you are meant for something greater, yet another part of you hesitates, fearing the unknown. This internal tug of war is normal. Growth is not always a smooth process. Sometimes it feels like being caught between two worlds: the world you are leaving behind and the world you have yet to fully step into. One of the biggest indicators that your life is about to change is when your old habits and patterns start to feel restrictive. The way you used to think, the choices you used to make, the perspectives you used to hold, they no longer fit who you are becoming. You might find yourself questioning things you once accepted without hesitation. You might feel the urge to explore new ideas, take risks, or redefine what success and happiness mean to you. This is a sign that your consciousness is evolving. As this shift occurs, you may notice that certain aspects of your life begin to fall apart. Plans that seemed solid suddenly change. Relationships that once felt strong begin to fade. Opportunities you relied on may slip away. At first, this may feel like everything is going wrong, but in reality, it is everything going right. When you are stepping into a new chapter, life has a way of removing what no longer serves you. It clears the path for something better, even if that means temporary discomfort. It is during these moments that many people resist change. They hold on to what is familiar, even when it no longer fulfills them. They try to force things to stay the same, hoping to regain a sense of stability. But true transformation requires trust. It requires letting go of what no longer aligns with your growth, even if you do not yet see what is coming next. The discomfort you feel is not a punishment, it is preparation. You are being guided towards something greater, something beyond what you have known. Instead of resisting, embrace the uncertainty. Understand that when life feels like it is shifting in unexpected ways, It is often because you are being positioned for something new. You are being asked to surrender, to trust that even in the unknown, there is a greater plan unfolding. This is not the time to shrink back into old ways of thinking. It is the time to expand, to open yourself up to new possibilities, to take steps forward even when you cannot see the full path ahead. One of the most powerful things you can do during this time is to listen to your intuition. Deep down, you already know what you need to do. You may not have all the answers, but there is a voice within you that is guiding you. That voice tells you when something no longer feels right. It nudges you toward opportunities that excite you, even if they scare you. It whispers to you in quiet moments, reminding you that you are meant for more. The more you trust this inner voice, the clearer your path will become. You must also be willing to take action. Change does not happen by simply waiting for the right moment. It happens when you make the decision to step forward, to say yes to growth, to move in the direction of your calling, even when the path is uncertain. This does not mean you need to have everything figured out. It simply means you need to be willing to take the first step. One step leads to another, and before you know it, you will find yourself in a new reality, one that aligns with the person you are becoming. If you are feeling restless, unfulfilled, or uncertain about your future, take it as a sign. You are not lost. You are in the middle of transformation. Your life is shifting, not to punish you, but to elevate you. You are being prepared for something greater than what you have known. Trust the process. Let go of what no longer serves you. Follow the inner calling that is urging you forward. Your breakthrough is not far away. It is just on the other side of your willingness to embrace change.